These 3 core moves will change your life. Hey there, my name's Coach Tyler from WeShape, and even though my singing maybe isn't all that great, this core progression involving 3 different movements, starting with beginner, moving to intermediate, and then advanced, is going to absolutely change your life. So here's how to use this video. I'm going to teach you the beginner variation first. You're going to put this beginner variation into a simple workout routine 3 days a week. The goal should be to do this movement for 60 seconds of work, followed by 30 seconds of rest for 3 rounds. This means that your workout's only going to take you 4.5 minutes to strengthen your core. Now, once you're able to do that for 3 whole rounds for 60 full seconds without resting once and with perfect form, then you can move on to the intermediate variation of this movement. You can repeat the same process, doing 60 seconds of work, followed by 30 seconds of rest for 3 rounds on the intermediate variation. And once you can do that with perfect form without resting during the entire 4.5 minute workout, then you can move on to the advanced variation last. So this isn't 3 different core exercises. This is 1 core exercise and a progression that starts at beginner, goes to intermediate, and then advanced. And if you follow along to this 3 days a week, like I said, starting at beginner and working towards advanced over the next few months, is going to change your core and change your life. Let's jump into the beginner variation. Okay, this first variation is for beginners and it's called the reverse crunch. So follow along to make sure you're doing it with perfect form. Okay, to start out, we want to make sure that you don't have bad posture in this movement. It's a mistake that most people make. So instead of putting your palms flat like this, turn your palms toward the sky and your thumbs to the outside, and then drive your shoulders away from your ears before you start this movement. You can pick your head up like this and think tall to the top of your head, or if that causes any pain in your neck, you can put a pillow behind your neck and just rest your head right there. From there, what you're gonna do is squeeze your legs together and bring your knees towards your chest, okay? Now, the most important part of this movement is that you're gonna keep your lower back glued into the ground the entire time. Now, if you're following along to the workout the way I described and your lower back comes off the ground, then you're not strong enough to go to the next variation in this progression. Make sure that lower back stays in contact with the ground the entire time you're doing this movement, okay? So palms toward the sky, fingertips away from the ears. Now you're gonna come down and tap your heels and then come back up. Again, focusing on that lower back pushing into the ground. That's gonna be the thing that really focuses on you activating your core and protects your lower back at the same time. You're gonna inhale as you go down, exhale as you come up. At first, this might be too hard for you, so you can bend your knees even more, okay? What we wanna get to is we wanna be able to do this with a 90-degree angle in our knees. Now, if you can do this with a 90-degree angle in your knees for 60 seconds, followed by 30 seconds of rest, and repeat that for 3 rounds, well, then you can move on to the next variation, which is an intermediate variation I'll show you next. Okay, this next variation is called the lying leg raise. And we're gonna do things a little bit differently here to protect the lower back and really target the core. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna make a diamond with your hands like this. This diamond is gonna go underneath your tailbone like this. Now that is gonna turn your shoulders forward. So what I wanna make sure is this. I wanna make sure you don't shrug your shoulders forward like this and feel your chest muscles moving. So instead, push your elbows down into the ground and imagine trying to turn your elbow pits toward the sky. So making the diamond, try to turn those elbow pits toward the sky, push those elbows down, tall to the top of the head. That's gonna set us up for this position. You're gonna keep that lower back glued into the ground the entire time, and do not go on to the next variation until you're able to do this for a full 60 seconds for 3 rounds with that lower back kept in contact with the ground. From there, squeeze the legs together, point the toes, bring the legs slowly down until they're right above the ground. From that position, squeeze the core, bring your thighs towards your chest as much as you can, and repeat the process. Inhaling as you go down, exhaling as you come up, slow and controlled on the way down, a little bit more fast and explosive on the way up. And again, focusing on form first and intensity second. Now, once you're able to do this for 60 full seconds with good form, keeping that lower back pushing the ground for 3 rounds, well, then you can move on to the next part of the progression, which is the advanced variation. Okay, this last variation is pretty challenging and it takes a little bit of getting used to, especially the balance point at the top where you're trying to compress your thighs towards your body as much as possible, right? So this is really 2 positions which I'll highlight, and Then I'll show you how to go back and forth between these positions. This move is called the V-up. So what you're gonna do is this. You're gonna start by extending your hands and pointing your thumbs towards the ground like this, and trying to keep your arms close to your ears the whole time as we do this movement. From there, you're gonna press the lower back on the ground, tilt the pelvis, and start this position in the bottom of the leg raise, again, only with the arms extended. So this is the bottom position. From there, we're gonna explode up to the top position and try to find a balance point, even just for 1 second. And you're gonna repeat this, going slow and controlled on the way down, and exploding on the way up, reaching for your toes on every single repetition. Now, if you can do this for a full minute with perfect form for 3 rounds, then you are going to have a core that is so strong, it's going to change your life. Hey, if you like this video, then I highly recommend you check this out next, because it's gonna help you even more. Oh, and if you want our team at WeShape to build you a customized home workout, well, just click this link right here and use our free workout builder tool. Also, remember to subscribe.